Hello friends, welcome to the channel. And it's your first time here, I'm glad you're here. I'm Jasmine and today I'm going all the way to Sweden. Yes, Sweden. I want to know more about Sweden, just we have known more about Poland. So guys, let's check out these 10 things I like about living in Sweden.
If I could choose, I would not live in Sweden right now.
Why?
If I could just wave a magic willy, I would live in Japan. But since that is not really an option at the moment, in the last half a year-ish, I have, instead of focusing on Japan all the time, I have tried to enjoy my time here in Sweden as much as possible. And I've come up with this little list. People who know me know that I give Sweden a lot of shit for being a very boring country to live in. But of course there are a bunch of little things that I really like about living in Sweden as well. Can you guess what the video is about? Notice, by the way, that I say small things. These are not people I know here in Sweden, for instance, because obviously the people I hang out with in Sweden are big things. Okay, number one, Sweden is a very convenient country in many ways. Not only do we get the free state-sanctioned banana every month, we also usually don't have to fiddle with cash. This is a 10 krona. It's a 10 krona coin. And it's the only cash that I carry around with me. I don't remember where I got it from, and I almost forgot what they look like. I haven't had a reason to use it for months now, because you can pay with the card everywhere here, pretty much. I don't remember the last time I went to an ATM to get some cash. This is the first on the list because it's clearly not a very big deal, but it's convenient and connected to the second one, which is Swish. Yay! Swish is a very handy little app. Equivalents are available in different countries, I've learned, but it's very popular in Sweden. Most smartphones have this app installed, apparently. It tracks your movements, social interactions and pictures, so that the Swedish government can make sure that everyone in Sweden acts according to the Swedish government's wishes, for the greater good, of course. It also allows you to very quickly and safely send money to someone as long as you just have their phone number, which makes, splitting bills after visiting a restaurant very easy. It's not so sexy. It literally takes about 15 seconds to send some money to someone if you have their phone number. Many sort of yard sales and small cafes also offer Swish as a means of just paying for a coffee or whatever. Yeah, it's very handy. It doesn't work, however, if you don't have the third item on this list, which is another app, Mobilt BankID. These are not, so far this list is not very sexy, I realize. Hang in there, we're getting to some juicy stuff later. This is another app that even more people in Sweden have on their phones. Apparently 94% of smartphones in Sweden have this one installed, because it is very handy. It sends information about your sex life, like dick pics and timed notifications for every time you masturbate to the current Prime Minister of Sweden. It is connected to your personnummer and it works very much like a sort of digital national ID number. So anything you'd need your personnummer or national ID number to use, like access your bank account or transfer money to someone, or fiddle around with boring state agencies like applying for apartments or paying your taxes and stuff like that. Everything is done through this very secure, handy little app called Mobilt BankID. Yeah. This makes it so that you basically, when you have the personnummer and your app, you never need to visit an institution in Sweden ever again, pretty much. I can't remember the last time I actually went to a bank or, Skatteverket to do anything. It's been years. It bypasses so much administrative bullshit, and makes everything paperless, which is fun, hilarious, Speaking of apartments, by the way, I like them. They're my number 4. They're usually very well built, well isolated. Winters in Sweden are ridiculous, but at least you know that when you go inside, it'll be nice and warm, compared to the UK, where that is definitely not guaranteed. They usually look fucking boring on the outside, but inside it's nice and cozy, Again, the things on this list are not anything to masturbate to, perhaps, but they are nice. The sound isolation is great as well, so you can have as loud as sex as you want, and your neighbors will not complain. If anything, they should cheer you on. That's what I do, at least. Another thing that I like about living in Sweden, connected to the housing thing, is the nerdy side of Sweden. Yes, it sounds a bit unintuitive how these are connected, but hear me out. During the winters in Sweden, as I said, there's pretty much no sunlight, and it's cold as fuck. Therefore, there are these well-built houses that are designed to spend lots of time in. You don't really want to go outside when it's pitch black, minus 30, and polar bears everywhere. So instead, you stay inside and play games. Fuck yeah. Apartments here are also very big, so you have enough space for big hobbies like, you know, board games and tabletop games and stuff. In places like London, where most people live in mold-infested tiny shitholes, you don't really have the space to have a big computer setup or, you know, a tabletop game or whatever. You'd rather spend the evening down the pub, you know. And I love just nerd culture in general. Growing up, that was just the way I hung out with my friends, you know, playing games. I've just started live streaming, by the way, speaking of games, on this channel, and I upload the VODs on my gaming channel, so go and subscribe to that one, I guess. Okay, I just had a huge dump, and now we are back on the grind. Subscribe and hit the bell, because you're worth it, yes. Speaking of not going outside, doing so is pretty nice as well. I like living in Stockholm. It's very pretty. It's a very pretty city. London and Tokyo are cool, but Stockholm is very pretty, you know. I feel like I should spend more time in the city because, I mean, look at this. If I could date a city, I think it would be this one. And when I go back down to where I live in my suburb of Stockholm, there's a bunch of nature everywhere. Look, there's trees and shit. Yes, I have an English degree. Many of you in the comments have pointed out how lucky I am to live close to areas like these. And I live literally 5 minutes from this place. It's pretty cool. I do still prefer houses and people over trees though. Of course, the quintessentially Swedish pastime is fika, which of course makes it on this list. It is nice to always have a reason to grab a jävla bulle liksom. The popularity of fika here also means that cafe culture is strong in Sweden, which as a little freelancer I love. I don't go to cafes to work as much as I should though. I need to work on perfecting my cool urban freelancer look, you know. At the fika place there's also never an issue getting vegan milk for your coffee, which is my number 9. Just vegan milk. No, it's very easy to be vegan and vegetarian in Sweden. I've talked about this before, but there are always vegan and vegetarian options on the menu in most restaurants. There's a ton of vegan products in the supermarkets, and being vegan is not considered anything weird or outlying, you know. I was brought up a vegetarian and my dad is a vegan, you know. It's very common. Finally, and this is going to sound silly, but I like the sweets in Sweden. There were a couple of times in Japan when I was hungover like an asshole and really just wanted something unhealthy and sweet. And there is nothing really abroad that comes close to Swedish plockgodis. Fuck yeah. And fuck you, I say plockgodis, not lösgodis. It exists in London as well, but it's fucking expensive. Also in Sweden, of course, you can now tell which sweets are vegan and not. I feel that these little signs are very representative of Sweden in many ways. You know, it's vegan friendly, it's informative and kind of boring, but it's a nice gesture, you know. So there you have it, everyone. That's a list of tiny reasons why I'm really not that sad being stuck in this country. But thank you very much for watching. Do leave a like and subscribe if you'd like to. I know that every fucking YouTuber says that all the time, but it really does help, and I would love to grow this channel if I can. So yeah, any help is appreciated, you know. Okay, so
wow, this is really interesting. You know, I didn't know so much about Sweden. I don't know how it's like, but I could see, like you said, it's a country that is convenient. Wow, who wouldn't want to stay in a convenient country, you know, where you can do virtually everything on your smartphone, you know, every phone has this app that they can use to do anything with, which is very good. But I feel like it's quiet. There are not so much people around. You are going to be very bored if you don't have friends in Sweden. Anyway, as I get to react more on Sweden, I'll get to find out I find out more about students, you know, if really is convenient, if it can be boring and all that, guys. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again.